Hello there, this is the State of the Channel number 3 vlog. It is currently December 28th, 2015. It's been a few months since I've done one of these. Last time I did one of these was in August of this year, so it's been a little while. First off, I need to thank all of my subscribers, all my viewers, all my commenters, everyone, because we made it to 1,200 subscribers. And honestly, for a hobby that I just do for fun, I didn't think there'd be this many people who would be interested in this. Tell you the truth, I never thought we'd break 1,000, but we did, and I meant to make one when we did so, but I kind of forgot about it, and life came up, and so now I'm doing it now. So thank you, everyone, for 1,200 subscribers. I'm going to answer a few questions really quickly. The first question I get a lot is, I have suggestions. What do you see as a good suggestion? What do you see as a bad suggestion? How do I know if you're going to do it? And honestly, the answer to that question is that I don't really have I don't have like a set of guidelines. I don't do suggestions based on guidelines. Normally, I do it based on whether or not I think it will make a good audio file, because I get a lot of suggestions that aren't bad. They just don't make good audio files, because the one thing when I started doing this, and one thing I've learned since I started doing this, is an audio file has to be accessible to any listener. Okay, so when I make a file, my goal isn't to, it can't be so specific that it's only good for one person. It's basically the need of an audio file. So a good example of a file I made was workout hypnosis, which is designed to be for everyone. It's simple, straightforward, and anyone can listen to that and get the results. Enjoy winter hypnosis, another one. Listen to it, get what you want, go forward. The blueberry hypnosis videos, both of those are designed to be very, very straightforward. They're not meant to be, like, I get a lot of requests for videos that tend to be like, hey, I want X, I want this to be for X person, or X kind of person, and, when this happens, I want this to happen, and when they do this, I want this to happen. It's very specific. And for the purposes of making an audio file, that's not really useful. That's really good if you're doing, like, one-on-one hypnosis. It's not so good when you're doing... It's not really so good when you're trying to make a file to, like, anyone can just pick up and listen. It'd be kind of like if you made a movie for one person, So I don't really. I guess the best way, if you're going to make suggestions, and I love suggestions, I love feedback, I love hearing from people and seeing what they think, is if you're going to do it, if you're going to suggest something, make sure that your suggestion isn't so specific that it only works for you. Okay. Make sure that it's not. Okay. I shouldn't have to say this, but I'm going to say it just for the record, basically. Don't tell me or ask me to make videos that are very clearly designed to. How do I put this? Are clearly designed to make it so you can easily enslave, or quote unquote enslave people. Okay, couple things about that, because the thing about making that kind of video, the kind of making the enthrallment sort of video, is it's really based around the needs of the person who's listening, and it's based around the needs of the person who's made the file. So one thing that I started finding when I looked around was there are people out there who want to take advantage of that. They want to, they're looking for open-ended files where the whole point is that anyone at any time can be taken in. Like, they really like very, I guess I wouldn't say broad, but I guess open suggestions. Like, one of the suggestions I hear all the time is, one of the requests I get all the time, I should say, is that in those videos I should give them a command that works for anyone, which I'm never going to do. All of my commands that I have, all the suggestions that I have that are inside of my audio files are either done by me, in which case they're very specific in that they should only work for when I do them, or when they're put in my video or audio files, or if the person who's listening does it to themselves. So either they're going to give the command to themselves, thus causing whatever the effect is supposed to be, or it's going to be based on me and me alone. Because I'm not gonna make videos that are only designed to work. Like, I'm never gonna make a video that's designed to work for just about anyone. With the exception being the new video I just produced, which is Purple Man Hypnosis. But even that is designed so that the person who listens can choose who they're giving, like who they allow it to work with. They're choosing who, so it's not going to be like anyone can do it. They're the ones picking whoever it is. Beyond that, and this is probably a topical thing. This is probably something that is relevant now, which may or may not be relevant in like 6 months. It probably will be, but one thing I've noticed is that I started getting messages from people saying that so-and-so was basically telling them, it was using my videos and essentially telling them to make videos on screen. They were basically sending videos to people, mostly women, and saying, hey, I want you to watch this on camera. Now, let me how do I put this? Let me be honest about this. Let me clarify my stance on this now and for the future, because I don't see this changing. It hasn't changed since I started doing this, and I don't think it'll change in the future. I am never going to send you anything. I'm never going to demand. I'm never going to ask. I'm never going to basically tell you that you should or have to do anything in terms of videos. Meaning, I'm never going to be like, hey, come watch my video on screen, unless it's the exception being, the exception is if I've worked something out with you, meaning we're doing some kind of, channel, mutual channel benefit thing. I guess you could say it. I don't know what to call it. Basically, if you're doing something to promote my channel, I'm doing something to promote your channel, then yes, that may come up. But I would never message you out of the blue and be like, hey, do this, so, do this on camera kind of person. And especially I wouldn't do it if you're underage, because that's illegal, first of all. So if you're doing that, you're breaking the law. Actually, you're breaking international law, so don't even do that. Especially if you're in the United States, don't do that. So I'll never ask anyone who's underage to do that. Especially if you're underage, I'll never ask you to do that. It should be noted, though, that all of my videos and the people who I tend to want to work with are always above 18. I have no interest, really, in working with anyone under that age. I prefer to work with adults. I prefer to work with people who tend to be in their 20s or 30s even. I've worked with people as old as, I think as old as 50 before. But the reason is that as a person, I prefer to work with adults. I make my videos with the intended audience of them being adults. The only reason I don't flag every video as adult-oriented is because you can't get advertising from it. And really, that's just all that money I shouldn't say all that money. I haven't earned that much. I've earned like $20. But I'm putting that towards improving my camera equipment and stuff. I'm not using that for anything else. It's a hobby, and if the hobby can become self-sufficient enough to pay off the needs of the hobby as it goes forward, that's great. But like I said, I'm never going to be coming to people, especially people who are younger or below 18. I never want to work with people who are under 18 usually. I only want to work with people who are older, just because they tend to be more fun to work with for me, and it gets rid of all the legal problems, quite frankly. Beyond that, that's not to say that I'm against people making videos of my videos. To say I don't have a problem with if people say, hey, if people come to me and say, hey, I want to make a video. It's like if people come and say, hey, I want to be on camera and watch your video. That's fine. That's fine if you want to do that. In fact, one thing that I said it before and I'll say it again, I love feedback. I honest to God love feedback. And the best feedback I get is video feedback. I'll be honest with you. There's either doing it in person or doing it or just watching a video of seeing somebody watch my video to see how they physically respond, whether or not how they respond to suggestions, how they don't respond to suggestions, what kind of effects my videos have that I may not have expected, what kind of how powerful they are, how good they are, so I can improve. So if people want to say, hey, I want to make, if people come to me and say, hey, I want to make, I don't say, you don't have to come to me. You don't have to come to me. If you want to make videos of yourselves watching my videos, that's fine. If you want to make them private and just share them with me to give me feedback, that's fine. I am very strict on the whole privacy thing. You've probably found that, considering I don't use any pictures of myself and I don't advertise my real name. I'm very understanding when it comes to privacy. I get that. I understand it. Usually, the only people I ever want on camera, or I should say not on camera, but I should say any people I've ever really had that sort of relationship where there's a trust relationship there with being able to see each other as people that I work with personally. And those are not people that I found on YouTube for the most part. Those are people I found elsewhere that I know, that I've gotten to know. And really, the only reason I'm bringing all of this up is because every once in a while it surfaces again. People start making video, people start sending, messages telling people that they should, watch people's videos on camera. And the only reason, and I mean this, the only reason that I would want anyone to do that is if they themselves decided that they wanted to provide feedback in that form. So if you're a listener, if you're somebody who likes my videos, you're somebody who enjoys my work, and you say to yourself, that sounds like something I'd like to do, then I'm okay with that. If you want to keep it private, that's cool too. It's up to you. I'm never going to force you to do it. I'm never going to demand that anything like that, or demand anything of that nature. It's important to me that everything is legal, that everything is consensual, that everything is done for the comfort of the person doing it. So if that's something you've ever wanted to do, or if you've ever wanted, you think, hey, I'd like to make videos, and, I want to provide feedback, and that's something you're interested in, don't feel you can't do it. But I'm not going to ask people to do it. I'm not going to come to you and be like, hey, I want you to do this, for the most part. The only exception, again, are people who I work with personally, and this video doesn't, these statements don't reflect on them, because they're friends of mine, they're people I've worked years with at this point. So at that point, there's no real, problem. The problem becomes when it's strangers. The problem becomes when it's people who, you have the people who are not me telling people to do it. That's the problem. Is there anything else I need to cover in this video? I don't really think so. I think that's everything I want to cover, at least in this vlog. I'm probably going to have another video up in a couple days. I'm trying to get back into this swing of having more frequent videos. I sort of got in this stretch where I'd upload 3 videos in a day, and then not upload for 3 weeks, and then upload another 3 videos. It's basically how it's been. It's been December, it's been the holiday season. My other job's a little stressful at the moment, so that's been the problem. But, that said, I think I'm going to cut it here. Once again, thank you everyone for getting me to 1,200 subscribers. You're all amazing. You've really made this hobby 1,000 times more enjoyable to know that people enjoy my work. So once again, thank you. I can't thank people enough. Honestly, I just can't thank people enough. It looks like the spam has decreased. I hope that stays the way it is. I guess that's it. Just don't spam people. Be safe. Follow the laws. Don't tell people to watch my videos on camera, because people, if they want to do that, will do that themselves. You don't need to tell them. That's it. Thank you, everybody. Have a good New Year.